3D Gender Reveal with a Stork Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a gender reveal design, and this was a request, and in the request it specified it was for both a boy and a girl, so I'm assuming twins, and congratulations. And so for me, for this design, just to follow in with those parameters, I did it with both blue and pink. And so for my take on the gender reveal thing is that when you flip the nails over, on the underside of the nail is where the color is and where the reveal is. So the top is fairly gender neutral, and so when you flip the nails over you should add the color that is appropriate for your situation, so blue or pink. And I hope you like this, and don't forget to click subscribe to see my future videos as well. So to begin, I'm going to start by adding my nail bed area with a cover pink, and I'm going to bring my nail bed down to just sort of like a dull point. So it's kind of a little bit of an almond shape on its own. And so I'm just going to then add another bead up near the cuticle, brushing that over to create a nice smooth shape. So now I'm going to create the color that you're going to see underneath. So for me, as I mentioned, it's going to start with blue. So I'm going to add a fairly wet bead of blue down and keep this as thin as possible, and then slightly blend it down. And because the pink that I'm using is a little bit transparent, you are really going to see all of that little bits of blue, and you'll see the gradient. You want to make sure that it's as smooth as you can possibly get it. And so then I'm going to be covering up all of that with a silver glitter. And the key here is to make sure that none of your color shows through from underneath, because you don't want it to be visible from the top. So now I'm going to be encasing my nail with a layer of clear acrylic. And when you're doing this, just try to keep it thin, because we are doing 3 layers now in the tip with glitter and a gradient. It does get to be kind of thick, so just really work on making sure every layer is nice and thin. So now I'm going to be filing it with a 180 grit file to remove any scratches, or to remove any bulk, and then I'm going to buff it with a 240 grit padded buffer to remove any scratches that the original file may have left behind. And so once you have that and you've removed the dust, you can cover it with a layer of gel sealer and throw that in your lamp for the appropriate amount of time. Afterwards, we're now going to work on the 3D art. So I'm going to be making my stork, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sculpt his head and then add his body behind that. And so I'm doing this with white. And as you can see, after I had his body in place, just to kind of give him a texture, I poked my brush into the white into his back, just to give it almost a feathery appearance. And so now I'm going to be adding his first wing, and then the second wing. And it's the same thing with the wings. After I have them on there in about the right shape, I'm just going to press them out with my brush just to give them a little bit more shape. And I'm going to thicken up the first wing I made, so make it look like it is the one that is closest to us, and just give it a little more dimension. And then with orange, I'm going to be adding his beak out in front of his face. And if your stork has more space at the end of him behind his butt, you can add some legs there as well. Mine pretty much goes all the way to the edge of my nail, so I was not able to do that. And now with white, I'm going to start working on my baby. So I'm going to add first the back of the blanket. So I'm keeping this layer nice and thin. I'm going to add a rounded section at the bottom, and then like a teardrop, it's going to come to a point into his beak. And then still using white, I'm going to be adding the baby's head onto one side of the blanket, and then a little bit of like a knee and a leg and a little bit of a foot out of the other side. And once you have that in place, then you can add the top section of your, okay, I'm skipping ahead of different parts here. Now I added the cover pink over the top of my baby. Now, I am doing this so that it would be around my skin tone, but you can definitely do it so that it's whatever color or skin tone that you are looking for. And especially if you are doing it so that it is somebody that's almost ghostly pale as I am, which is unfortunate, my almost invisible skin, then you want to do the white beneath it so that it's a solid color and doesn't have a little bit of the clear, so the silver glitter doesn't show through. So then add the top layer of the blanket, and then I painted my stork with yellow paint, and then I added his eye with white, and I'm highlighting my blanket with a little bit of more of that white paint. And once you have your blanket highlighted, now I'm going to be switching over to some black paint, and I'm going to be adding details like the pupil in my stork's eye, and then just a very small outline around it, and then just a couple little details on his back. So I'm going to define some of those feathers that are on him, and just make sure that it's easily visible where his wings are and where his beak is. And so just do any outlines that you see fit. And I'm going to add my baby's face. I'm going to start with an eye. And then add just a little spot for a nose and then a little smile. And also do just a slight outlining on his leg. And then apply matte top coat over the stork and over the baby. And you are all set. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this design. Please share any recreations with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I would really love to see them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!